really enjoy the previous speakers. I almost forgot I have to speak too. And I think the very interesting topics talk about the universities, in particular the role of the private university. But in China, there's no yellow at all. You talk about the color of the, that's right, all red. Even you rank the 1,000 universities, still no red, no yellow. So unfortunately, and thank you for inviting me to attend the conference and giving me a title of the funding a university. Actually, it's a too big a topic for me. You particularly talk about art of fundraising, but it's really not art for me. Just think about share some experience as a school dean of HSBC Business School. So I'm from Peking University. When we introduced called Beijing University, but in fact our official name is still Peking University. For some reason. The name of the city already changed to Beijing, but we still have 3 Peking left. Peking Opera, Peking Duck, and also Peking University. Anyway, in order to make my presentation a little bit rich information, so I'm talking about first general information of the university funding in China, and also in particular talk about the our school as a HSBC Business School. So university in China actually grew up very fast. You can see we have 3 types of university. In fact, we call it higher education. One is a regular higher education. Basically, we have a formal degree. We have 3 types of degree: junior college, and then undergraduate, bachelor degree, and also graduate school, PhD and MA, master degree. So we also have 3 levels of the public university. Almost we have very few private. When I listen to the previous speakers, I'm trying to think which university are private. It's very hard for me to think about some university are private. So the most of university is actually public, but there are some private university grow up very fast. However, still is undergraduate, junior college, and also only those they cannot admitted by public university, then they pay high tuition and go to private public university. But we do have some joint international university like NYU Shanghai and Duke University in Kunshan, and so now it is more and more joint international university. It's not a private, but also not really public. So that is because it's kind of joined between international university and also China public university. But in general, can speak enrollment of the student going up very dramatically. And then we have other informal education, high education. We call it adult higher education. It's just a continuing education, and also self-study and self-exam university, which means you don't have to go to university, but you through examination, then you can earn a degree. So this will be the number of university in China. Now, 2000 we have 1,800, but now we have 2,700 universities, which actually a lot. That's a high institution. Among this, the formal universities, we have 1,100 universities. Among them, 800 has a graduate program. And so this is, of course, China is very big. So that's why compared to the, the university, if we divide our population, then we will be shrink. And the funding, you can see majority of fund of university from government, almost 60%. Then 34% of the money from school revenue. The school revenue, including tuition and also university. Many of university have we also have company like Beida. We have a Fundraising, and also such company also contributed some money. Then the social contribution, which basically talking about the donation from public sector or from individual, also from corporate, is very small percentage. It's only 1% account the total funding of the regular higher education institutes in China. So, and of course, this is something detail of this government funding. The government funding you can see now increase in terms of percentage from 40 something now to almost 60% of the 60% of the funding. And this will be social revenue and the social contribution. The school, actually including school revenue. School revenue count 35%, which actually declining. Okay, from because the government give more money, so that's make the other contribution be less. Okay, so that is kind of a brief information. So the general impression is in China, all the money from government, almost. So then my topic is a little bit weird, which is really another really a bigger issue in China to raise money from the corporate sectors. However, our school is a little bit different. We call it PHBS. The whole name is the Peking University HSBC Business School. We originally one called HBS, but then find out the Harvard Business School also called HBS. So that's why we put the P in front, which is the Peking University. So we call PHBS. And the PHBS is part of Peking University, but we're located in Shenzhen. We have another campus established 2001 based on the request of Shenzhen government, because Shenzhen, probably you know, this is the first city after China opened up as a special economic zone. So Shenzhen is a miracle. 30 some years ago, is a couple thousands of village. Now is 14 million population. Then also the GDP terms, in GDP actually is some, if we look at the biggest city, Beijing is Shanghai number 1, Beijing number 2, and Shenzhen actually number 3. So it is a very fast developed city. Also, last year, the whole nation, the GDP growth rate was 7.4%, which kind of slowed down. However, Shenzhen still keep 10% of GDP growth rate. And if we look at the city, Shenzhen we call the most innovative city in terms of private sector and private business. So that's why, but Shenzhen still lack of higher education. Before we come to Shenzhen, only one university in Shenzhen, called Shenzhen University. But then they decided to introduce more the higher education institution. So Peking University, also Tsinghua University, we established graduate school there. I served as chancellor for 8 years in our Shenzhen campus. So we totally now have 8 schools in Shenzhen, including PHBS, business school, and also established a law school called the School of Transnational Laws. This was actually still the first one and the only one. We have a JD program, which I invited Jeff Lehman, he's a former president of Cornell University, as a founding dean of STL. So also we have a School of Information Engineering, School of Biotechnology, School of Urban Planning and Design, and the School of Environment and Energy, School of Advanced Material, and the School of Humanity and Social Sciences. So all graduate school in Shenzhen, we have about 3,000 graduate students. But again, it's a new school. But this school is part of Peking University. However, it is kind of in a very special condition, because Peking University think about this is Shenzhen. It's a Shenzhen request us to establish a school there. So Shenzhen should pay the money. But the Shenzhen government think about this is Peking University. So Peking University should pay the money. So now we become a public university, but the private run. And then you have operated like a private school. You have to really make effort to get the money by yourself. So anyway, I'm just talking about our PhDBS. The PhDBS established in 2004. The university just gave me a name and give 1 million RMB as the seed fund to establish school. So my job is to raise money from everywhere. Okay, so and now we become one of the top business school actually in China. I would say, if you look at our student, it's very competitive. We become one of the top 3 B school in China. So anyway, so currently we have MA and PhD student. Currently we have 878, and including 92 international students from 45 countries. We have MBA and full-time and also part-time, EMBA and ODP. We have 55 full-time professors, and 45% of them actually international, including a lot of 11 Korean professors. We have 5 American professors, 11 Korean professors. Let's talk about not only hold a passport, okay? Let's talk about different actually nationality, including American, Canadian, and Turkish, Italian. So it's kind of international searching to recruiting the professor. So our target is, like we said, we are small, we are new, but we also think a bit. We want to become one of the top B school in the world in maybe 10 to 20 years. So come to the topic of fundraising. So I'm list the 3 kind of category of the fund. One is annual budget. Currently our annual budget is 46 million US dollars, okay, equivalent. 3% from government, which compared to majority funding I showed before, in previous slides, we are kind of very unique and special as a different from the majority university in China. So our mainly is funded only 3% of money from government. Well, part of the reason maybe our B school, so that's government thinking about. You should have got money by yourself. Then we have some tuition, including the MBA, EMBA tuition, counted for 25%. Then we have earned money by ourselves is to through our training, especially training the business people, and provide some service. That's a kind of majority of our annual budget. But this is the current situation. But in the future, I think we want to get more money from the revenue or return from our endowment. So this is the reason I kind of set up a target to establish endowment in, say, 10 years. We get 1 billion RMB, which is equivalent to something like 160 million US dollars. So then our construction, actually we have a very good building, just completed 2 years ago. Larry Law, the former president of Chinese University of CUHK, Chinese University of Hong Kong. He just attended our annual conference of the Chinese Economic Society in China. And then he said our building actually is the one he thought is the most fantastic building when he visited the B school. So anyway, the building is constructed by, we get the money from government. Actually, we initially get HSBC. I'm talking about HSBC story later. So HSBC donated 150 million RMB, convert to US dollar, divided by 6 something, 20,000. So 2,500 million. 150 million RMB, 25 million US dollar. Yeah. So that was the HSBC donated the money in 2008. So that's the reason we changed our name. Used to work called the Peking University Shenzhen Graduate School of Business. Now we changed it to the Peking University HSBC Business School. Actually, it's the first HSBC donation used that name. So HSBC told me that they donated many money, but this is the first time the name being carried out. So they really care about their names. Every year they will kind of very closely monitor their name, the reputation of our school, how our school can affect their reputation. So HSBC donated 150 million RMB, 25 million US dollars, then also get 150 million equivalent money from government to construct our new building. So our new building has 60,000 square meters, kind of designed based on the school needs. So we are also going to establish endowment. So that's our target. The money from to contribute to the endowment. Now, this is a target, not estimate, not really, not really realized, because we are target is in 10 years we build up an endowment of 160 million RMB, US dollar. So 65% will be from corporate. We have detailed plan from corporate. And 25%, 26% from donation, which we already have. And also we also have training and service will contribute like 20% of this money. So now, what's the experience of fundraising from corporate sector? First of all, I think it's very important to find the right target. Okay. When we established the B school, I started looking for the good name of the corporate that could help us. So I think it's very important to look at, because our school actually mainly focus on the finance sector. We do have 3 degrees: finance, economics, and also management. Find the right target is very important. You have to really think who could be not only potential donor, also including the relationship between our school and the corporate. Should add some value to our school, but also could be benefited to the corporate. Actually, we have 2 companies now. Actually, it's a kind of very important for us. One is we talk about HSBC. I spent like 1 year to discuss with HSBC. At the time, the chairman was the Steve Green. Okay, he was the chairman of HSBC. But very fortunately, he also very interested in higher education. Then the other company is a local company. So that's my target for our endowment in the future. So you have to find right target, which in terms of their goal, their mission is close to our school. So they possibly willing to support the higher education. So that's very important that you have to actively to approach to those companies. A second experience I think is very important is you have to think about win-win situation. Many of our school is thinking about donation, but at the same time you have to think about what's the benefit to the company. It is very important. When I approached to HSBC in 2004, they just entered market of China. So I saw a lot of advertising of HSBC everywhere in China. In particular, the airport. They spend millions of dollars to advertise them. So then I tried to convince HSBC if they donated and named a top business school, it is a permanent, high quality advertising. That's the way I really speak to the student green. I said that this will be the top high quality permanent advertising. Every student graduated from HSBC business school, they carry the name of HSBC. So I think Steve Green was very clever, and I only talked to him 5 minutes. He's interested. So when we discuss with the corporate, you have to think about what's the benefit for them. You have to give the value of us, and also we have to give value to the company. So that's a combination is very important. I think in the wonderful case of the Tsinghua University, they successfully raised some money from one of the company, but then the student against it. They named a building called some kind of building, but this company actually produced something like
underwear.
Not really underwear, but close to that. So then the company name, the
Victoria's Secret.
something like this. Then the student don't like the name because they will feel this is not the right name for the school. Although the money is good, but the name is not so good. So sometimes you're not only thinking about the money, also have to think about the name, also give the value added to the school. And the other company I'm approaching is a company now. They are kind of investment company. So I'm successfully to talk to them and to talk to the government in Dongguan, which is near Shenzhen. We are jointly established a park. We call it Research, Learning, and Industrial Park. So we use our B-school resources help the company to get a piece of land from the government. At the same time, we also get a benefit because we get a share of the company. And also they agree to give some property, the real estate property, to our school. So I'm thinking about I can get, when the property, later I can sell the property. Anyway, this is a win-win situation. The company win the land, the government win the GDP, because the producer company, and we use our B school and attract the capital to invest in this county. And the company also win, our school also win. The school can get, when we sign the contract, they agree to give some share of the company to us, and also we signed out kind of, they agreed to give us 50,000 square meter property, okay, to us. So that is some kind of way to establish our endowment in 5 to 10 years. Timing is very important. Okay, I said that when the HSBC entered China, at the time they need publicity, so we give this opportunity to help them to increase their publicity. And I'm also very lucky because we signed the agreement at the August 30th of the 2008. Then 9 days later, the global financial crisis happened. So I really feel happy because if we actually, once we started, we kind of pushed very hard to make this done. Otherwise, you may have so many things will be changed. Same thing, you have to work very hard to make things done. And then I think the wonderful reason we are very successful to raise money from corporate sector, the leader, the trust is very important. I have the special situation because I serve as the board of the HSBC China as an independent director. So I'm working very hard. Okay, I never miss one meeting even. Even one time I was sick in the hospital, I'm still chairing auditing committee through my cell phone in the hospital. So then they feel I'm the person they can trust. It's very important because if you are not reliable, first of all these conditions must be met, including the leader is really responsible. So that's a part of the reason we can very successfully to discuss with this company. And the most important, I think, is the vision and the quality of the school. When the HSBC, Steve Green, visited our school, we only have 3 years, even have no graduate student yet. The first student still not graduated yet. But actually, we have a vision, like even we are very small, but we already think about the bigger. Even we are very new, but we already think about what is the long run. So they are very respect or appreciate our vision, what kind of school you want to do. Then I think the very important meeting which in 2008 when Beijing host Olympics, many board members of HSBC come to Beijing. I was invited for dinner, but I know this is a very important dinner. Everybody asking me questions. This is the final decision. If they listen to their view, what kind of school you want to build, what kind of policy, what kind of target. So I think that was successful dinner. After dinner, they signed agreement. So it is very important what kind of school you want to build, and maybe slow, but you have to very clear. You have to step by step to kind of realize what is your goal. Okay, finally give you some picture of our school now. This building, only half the part of the building look at, and inside, and this is the largest our lecture hall. This one will host 3,000 students because China, you think of it, everything is big. You have to, it's very easy to need a kind of 300 student classroom, and this is our the lecture hall can hold 1,000 audience. We had a global deans forum last year, and those are some student building. Now, because this is the only school now in China we use English as a working language, so we attract many international students and also international faculty to come to join us. So that's a 1 year class. Every year we take them to the beach. Almost 300 students each year we come in. This is a new student. So just show you, this is one class, 300, more than 300. Okay, and this is kind of experience of as one school. I'm not talking about whole China's education. But the point is, maybe in the future it's important for China. Private school, and also you have to looking for money fundraising from the corporate sector. Thank you.
I think we have to congratulate this professor because he has been able to build a school and raise funds. He has worked hard to get the trust from the industry, from the government, and so on. So I think it's given us a really good direction on how to raise money. Any questions for him? Yes.
Just one question actually. Are you just or any other school if in case for this particular Peking HSBC school, you receive another funding larger than what HSBC has given, what would you do? Would it be a contradiction?
You talk about the later or talk about the same time?
Same time.
Same time also have to depend on the company. If another company also very good and they give more name, then it's no doubt about the choice is clear. But then you compare the more money, less reputation, and less money and the more reputable, then I probably would choose less money, but like HSBC company. You know, they have very good history and very good reputation. So because this is not just, then they help us to start. Of course, eventually we cannot really rely on the initial donation. Actually, that donation is not too much, $125 million US. One time, last year, I met Ma Yun in Alibaba.
Yeah.
He had a lot of money. Then he said, he asked how much money HSBC donated. I said, 25 million. His eyes are wide open. Is this little money? But the time, Alibaba even giving more money, I probably still choose HSBC. It's very hard to call Alibaba school. But that will not change. Even more money comes because it now become a brand. HSBC becomes brand.
A quick question. So is it a government school? Is it a public university or a private university? I think what I'm wanting to know is like, were there any interference from the government in terms of how you run the school or any other things? Like how do you differentiate between a private university and a public university?
What's the difference? Not quite sure. Of course it's different. Sorry. Your question?
How much interference does the government have in the running of this?
Because obviously now you're
I think the actual interference are the same. You have to, even you are private, even you don't get any money from government, you have to follow the regulation. Maybe the president of the university is not appointed by government. But however, how many students are admitted? What kind of course you teach? Those still have to buy the Ministry of Education. I think this will be highest control, at least in Asia. Much higher. Even the tuition, how much you can charge, even have to regulated by government. So we have a long way to go.
You mentioned that reputation is the primary reason you choose the funding from the corporate sector. I shall not refer to any name, but the thing is, it seems to me odd that you say this, when in fact one of your giant donators, or maybe referring to, is a subject of joke, butt, and ridicule in the United Kingdom for a lot of reasons to do with, I shall not associate what kind of sham activities or whatever it is on a global basis. And they were in 2012 asked to behave themselves under an agreement with the US Judicial Court. And lately it has come out again that they have gone into those kind of activities again. So to me, hearing what you say, it seems strange that you say reputation. This is global reputation you're talking about. This is about things that destroy almost the financial system in the United States.
Well, of course, we're not talking about the detail of each company, but relatively, I think it's a global brand. I think that's different view of. I'm talking about the reputation. I'm talking about the name in the people's public opinion. People think of it as respect to the company. Of course, any company could have problems, but we are not responsible for that. Even they get the money, but again, they are not interfering our school. So they are just the money of the name, unless I don't know, even the company, I'm not sure in the future, but at least by the current knowledge, we think this is a good company.
So if anything goes wrong with SBC, go to Alibaba. One last question. Yes.
Do you have a say in running of your
we have a board of advisory board, and of course, this actually helps us. We established a board advisory board of a school, but this actually every year we have 2 meetings, kind of report. So they help us to check our performance, and sometimes also it's good for us to kind of a little bit keep independent from the university. Sometimes we use.
I want someone to switch off. Maybe you said something sensitive.
You say so. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just explaining that's the role of HBC in our school. They donated money, but then we established a joint committee, advisory committee. 4 of us from the university, including the university president, and then 3 of them from actually BC. But they only listen to our report and give some suggestion, but they not interfere the school, the appointment of faculty or academic performance. Sometimes actually it's good for us to use this board to keep a little bit distance from the authority from Beijing. Sometimes we said that we have to report and get some kind of opinion. For example, they have some opinion to recommend the dean. In agreement between HBC and Peking University, we agree that board and HBC has some kind of voice when they appoint the dean. So maybe in China we have too much public power. We could use some kind of private power is good, but this private power not indicated that the company can interfere of our education and academic research.
Very good. Thank you very much.